Into it because today we are doing something really cool. We're stepping right off the street and straight onto the incredibly bustling floor of a highly advanced manufacturing facility. We're going to witness this fascinating process, literally watching how raw agricultural assets, specifically Grey Brahman Bulls, are systematically transformed into these flawless, high-end luxury objects. I mean, it's this wild collision of raw nature, human expertise, and just cutting-edge robotics. So strap in because the factory floor moves incredibly fast. Keep them moving slowly. Now watch the gates on the left. All right, keep them coming down the chute. We're clear for the holding area now. Keep them moving toward the chutes. Clear the gate on the left. Let's go, move up. You hear that? That is the chaotic, physical energy that just hits you the literal second you walk into the arrival gates. You've got heavy animals, shouting workers, clanging metal gates. It's a highly kinetic, intensely earthy environment. It's loud, it's fast, and it requires absolute split-second coordination just to get the raw materials safely inside the door.
Okay, let's dive into this itinerary real quick so you know where we're headed. First, arrival and initial sorting. Second, quality control and logistics. From there, we follow a split path: white horn processing and premium leather manufacturing. And finally, we end up at the pinnacle of craftsmanship. All right, Section 1, Arrival and Initial Sorting, the chutes and bays. So, the moment the raw product arrives, this facility has to instantly transition from all that physical chaos into a structured, manageable flow. As the Grey Brahman are carefully guided through specific gates, you hear floor managers shouting confirmations that instantly marry this very physical reality to the facility's digital nervous system. Bay 4 confirmed, all systems clear on line 3, the rinse cycle is holding steady. It's honestly brilliant, because these massive, unpredictable animals are being routed with the exact precision of a digital traffic grid. The immediate system logs confirm that the lines are clear, and boom, the facility is perfectly primed to receive the yield. Just look at the initial sorting priorities these workers are juggling all at once. They're physically managing the flow. Keep moving toward chutes, clear left gates, watch the horns. That is purely physical herding. But simultaneously, there's another absolutely critical action happening. Upload data to main server. Right there, amidst the mud and the noise, the raw agricultural asset is being digitized. The factory is already, in real time, converting a living animal into trackable, actionable manufacturing data. It's wild. Moving on to Section 2, Quality Control and Logistics, the first inspections. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that once the dust settles, the whole environment changes. The pace slows way down, and one single crucial number dictates the first major inspection: 22. Workers are carefully checking to ensure the Brahman horns measure exactly 22 centimeters. Anything less than that, it simply doesn't meet the strict baseline for the high-end processing that's about to happen. And right alongside those horn measurements, workers are performing these incredibly rigorous visual and tactile checks on the hides. The factory logs note things like flank area, minimal scarring, high quality, excellent, minimal defects, and texture, exceptional, very smooth. I mean, think about the harsh realities of nature for a second. Barbed wire, insects, weather. Finding a hide out there with minimal scarring and an exceptionally smooth texture, that is super rare. So this is where the sorting process ensures that only the absolute highest quality yields actually make it further into the factory. And that brings us to the great logistical divergence right at lane 4. Based on those super rigorous quality checks, the factory seamlessly splits the assets. Group A gets directed over to the highly specialized white horn processing department, while Group B is transferred over to premium leather manufacturing. So you've got two entirely different factory floors with two entirely different sets of expertise, all operating under one roof. Which brings us to Section 3, White Horn Processing, High-Tech Precision. If we follow Group A, that earthy, muddy atmosphere completely vanishes. We step into this hyper-precise clinical environment. The sheer technological contrast is staggering, to be honest. We literally transition from herding animals through metal gates to utilizing precise laser scanning that maps the exact topography of the horn. Then, robotic arms take over, meticulously polishing the Brahman horn sections. The human hand has completely stepped back here, allowing automated precision to take that raw organic material and refine it into something completely elevated. The actual factory logs from this department literally read, "Achieving a flawless luxury-grade finish approved." That exact phrase right there, that's the ultimate non-negotiable goal of the robotics department. These robotic arms aren't just, cleaning the horn. They're fundamentally transforming an agricultural byproduct into a pristine, approved luxury item ready for the high-end market. It's this perfect marriage of organic material and cold, hard, automated precision.
Let's move to and see how this builds as we jump into Section 4, Premium Leather Manufacturing, the Pursuit of Perfection. Leaving the robotics behind for a minute, we step back into a world that relies heavily on the human eye. Listen to this direct exchange between two workers on the leather line. One says, "I'm seeing a slight variation in the texture right here." And the other replies, "Yes, but it's within tolerance for the Brahman." This is where the human element is just absolutely irreplaceable. Unlike that robotic horn polishing, leather is inherently organic, right? It has natural variations. So these human inspectors are operating at impossibly high stakes, constantly judging what is a true flaw and what is a beautiful, acceptable natural tolerance that actually proves the material's authenticity. Before any piece of hide is allowed onto the main manufacturing conveyor, it has to pass this brutal, multi-point criteria test. The flank scarring must be minimal. The finish texture has to be exceptional or spot on. The grain consistency needs to be near perfect, and the leather thickness must be perfectly uniform. Only when every single one of these metrics gets a firm green light from the boss does the raw material move forward to actually be cut and shaped. Once it's finally approved, the leather goes through its final manufacturing stages. The grain consistency is verified one last time. The wet, treated leather completes a highly controlled drying stage. From there, it's moved to the finishing department, where the actual luxury goods are assembled. And finally, human inspectors meticulously check the final stitching of the completed leather products. Every single step here is about absolute refinement. And that takes us right to the ends of the line. Section 5, the pinnacle of craftsmanship, final review. We've arrived at the shipping docks. So the crucial point is this: there is zero room for error at the exit door. The final sign-off reads flawless stitching, perfect grain, uniform thickness across the sheet, ready for shipment. If the stitching isn't absolutely flawless, or if the thickness varies by even a fraction of a millimeter, the batch does not ship, period. After all the herding, the laser scanning, the manual inspections, only absolute perfection makes it into the box. You know, the factory refers to the finished pieces of the Grey Brahman collection not just as products, but as objects of desire. And honestly, after walking through this facility with you, that definition makes perfect sense. These objects are the ultimate result of an incredible journey. They represent the absolute pinnacle of craftsmanship, born in the mud and noise of traditional sorting, refined by hyper-advanced robotic processing, and perfected by the human eye. And this brilliantly illustrates a much larger point I want to leave you with today. Look at the immense, almost overwhelming technological and manual effort required just to turn a raw natural resource into a flawless object of desire. It really makes you wonder, what does that vast, unseen factory process reveal about the true nature of luxury? Is luxury just the shiny finished product sitting in the store window? Or is it actually the staggering, invisible pursuit of perfection we just witnessed? Think about that the next time you see a high-end leather good or polished horn. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.